Awesome, you know the drill. So if you can say your full name and briefly introduce yourself.
Okay, sure. I'm Jim Park. I'm part of the fan of Tom Fott. The Fotts. The friend of Tom. Yeah, so that's Jim Park with AREAA. And that's it.
Awesome. So when you first think of Tom, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
First thing, well, when I first met Tom, so I'll do that a little bit. So when I first met Tom, it was, let's start. Was it 2012? Was it 2012? Was it your installation was 2012?
When the year that you were the chair.
Yeah. So 2012 is when it started. So when I first met Tom, it was 2012. So 6 years ago. He picked me up from the airport. I had never met him before. I came into Boston for the installation gala that the Boston chapter was putting on. It was their first event. And Tom picked me up. He welcomed me. I hugged him. I never met him before, but I hugged him because he's the kind of guy you have to hug when you first meet. And I just sort of proceeded to kind of get in this car and just learn about his life, what his passion was, the business he was in. He's a builder. He's a rebuilder. He likes to take old homes and convert them into something beautiful. That's what he does with his life too, in many ways. So I got to know him really well just in that short ride. And since then, I've gotten to know him very well. And he's an amazing individual. He is obviously very passionate, very focused about everything he does. But you don't really get to see how passionate he is and how focused he is until you actually walk into his room and what he does to transform his own house and what he does with his family. I mean, I think that's pretty amazing to see him outside of the work environment. Seeing him be the builder that he is, in his home with his family. So.
And you're such a big part of, this project here with this video. And I know that Tom said that he looks to you as a mentor. He learns from you. I'd love to hear about why is it important for you to be part of Tom's journey, and why are you so invested in his success?
Yeah. Well, Tom, maybe I might be a part of Tom's journey, but he's also part of my journey as well. So he's if I think about the organization, when we first started AREAA 15 years ago, as we celebrate 15 years, 17,000 members, 39 chapters throughout the country. If you think about why this organization got started, you just have to look to a guy like Tom. That's why we started this organization, to find people like him, to help him represent this organization and really kind of put us in the right direction going forward, because that's the future. Time is the future, and this is what this organization is all about. It's all about people at the end of the day. It's not about, not about writing another policy paper or not about doing another cocktail hour. It's about people, and people like Tom who's going to make the difference for this organization in the future.
I know that people made fun references of his energy and how he plays the drums and things like that. I know that some people kind of said that Tom is kind of be like the conductor for AREAA next year. Can you tell me about what do you see of Tom going forward in this new role?
Yeah, talking about Tom and his drumming. So we pulled Tom away from his 50th birthday last year. Was it last year? Was your dad's birthday last year? Okay. So talking about drumming, Tom had to fly out to San Diego for a strategic planning meeting for AREAA on his 50th birthday. And we felt terrible because apparently he had never missed his own birthday at home, but he came out because that's when we could do the meeting. So that evening we went to a nightclub and decided that it would be really nice for him to play the drums with the band that was in that club. I had to slip him a few bucks to convince them that Tom was a legitimate drummer, and he blew everyone away, right? And that's sort of Tom, right? He is a guy who is sort of unassuming. It looks like he's some guy off the street, but he just blew everyone away in that club because he's proceeded to play the drums, had never practiced with that band, and he is a guy of multiple talent, hidden talents. But it's also, when you can do that, when you can play the drums like that, it means that you're disciplined. you have worked on your craft and you can adapt to different environments. And that's why I think he's such a great person, the right person for this organization, because he can kind of get in there with the AREAA folks from lots of different backgrounds, lots of different areas, maybe some different perspective, but he can bring them all together. And I think he can be the backbone, the drumbeat, really for this organization for many, many years to come.
And to wrap this up, what is one other thing that you'd like to share with people watching this video?
One thing that I heard from Tom over and over again since the beginning of the time that I met him is the focus on policy, the giving back, the affordable housing, and the disadvantaged. I think it's informed by his childhood, his immigrant roots, being separated from his dad, coming to this country and struggling and feeling a sense of kind of isolation and loneliness to some extent, right? And his desire to change that for other people. And he really has a profound desire to do good for other people. And that's what I take away from him every time I get a chance to spend some time with him.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All
We
right.
got so much out of that piece.